Are you ready to let go to grow? This podcast is all about how we can embrace the future by releasing our past. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of It Takes Grit with your host, Rebecca Louise. I'm so proud of each and every one of you who tunes in every single week to learn and grow your mindset. And remember that we're here to spread positivity and change the world, right? There is so much. I was even having this conversation with someone the other day. I was like, there is so much negativity out there. I used to feel like I could make a huge difference on social media. But unfortunately, 99% of the population think in a negative cancel culture world. So you know what? We do have a big fight. And I believe that together we can make a difference. So if you have listened to this podcast or any one of these episodes, I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to share it with a friend, family, social media, wherever it is, so that we can actually make a bigger impact in the world together. Because this world, we seem to be living in an area where we can't let go of the past. And we have a terrible cancel culture and social media and just bringing people down. So you know what? We do have some work to do. But as a positive influencer, I know that you're going to be able to have a tremendous impact, and the ripple effect of what you'll do by just sharing this with one person today, it's going to make a difference. But it's going to need all of us, right? It's going to need all of us to make this change. So we're talking today about how to let go, right? How to let go to grow. And if you're holding on to something right now and you're serious about growing to that next level, you've got to let it go. You know, even with me, sometimes I get frustrated, right? It's a very normal emotion to have. I get frustrated about maybe what somebody's done or their action or the way that they've treated somebody. And, you know, it gets me, right? Gets right under my skin. You get frustrated. But even the other day, I was realizing that this frustration wasn't helping me. I just had to let it go and be the bigger person and go, you know what? This is all going to work out for the right reason. I'm not going to let somebody else take my day, somebody else's actions take my day, and I'm going to just have empathy. And that has really helped me let go when I felt frustrated. If I'm feeling frustrated all day and I'm so caught up about somebody else's actions that have got nothing to do with me, how am I going to grow? How am I going to be the best version of myself today? How am I going to give the energy that I need to help others and to have an incredible day? I'm not. And I had to catch myself the other day because I could feel something getting under my skin, right? And just wanting to say a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm like, you know what? This isn't helping me. This isn't serving me. I'm just going to take a big breath in. I'm going to exhale everything out. I'm going to know that this is happening for me. I know that there's a reason for it and that there's something bigger in the end. And their actions aren't a reflection of me. They're a reflection of them. And I feel sorry for them. So I came with it with a bit of empathy, even though it's hard and it's challenging. So we have to let that go to grow. Otherwise, I would have been stuck in that all day and it would have taken my day, and I don't let anybody take my day. But we got to release the past so that we can embrace the future, right? Anything that is holding us back is going to have a brick wall in front of us, right? When we're trying to get to a certain place, if we're so holed up and so hung up on the past, they're like chains. I want you to imagine right now, you have got a chain across your shoulders, and hanging off that chain is two 50-pound weights. And as you are walking, you are dragging those weights with you. And what we got to do is imagine if you just cut those two weights off, one to the left and then one to the right. How would you walk differently? You would be faster. It would be smoother. You'd have a little hop in your step. So releasing any tension or releasing things from the past is going to set you free. What is something right now that you're like, I need to let go of this? And even though it's hard, you're like this, I don't want to let go right now. I'm telling you that the only person that is holding you back from reaching that next step and looking at the gain, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, you're going to miss the opportunities. Because a lot of people live in the gap, right? You live in this like just the gap area. Instead of looking at every single situation as what am I going to gain? I know what you're thinking. You're like, Rebecca, like how am I even gaining in this situation? Well, you have to think of it like that so that you get the gain. It's kind of like a bit of a mindset trick in your own brain to be like, how Rebecca, are you even saying that there's possibility that there is gain in this? Well, if you choose to find the silver lining and you choose to find the good that's going to come out of challenging times, it's going to set you free, and you're going to look at all the things that you are going to gain. You're going to be so focused on all the great things and all the new opportunities that are going to come out of that situation that you will not be living in the gap. Because people who live in the gap, they blame other people, they blame the past, they blame the things that happened for them, and they're stuck. Ask yourself right now, am I stuck in the gap? And is it time that I started to look at the gain? What is the gain that I can get from this? Even though it might be challenging and you have to rewire your brain to think that, we want to continue to focus on what is that gain. Because our past failures are there to make opportunities for new things that come in. And it's not a failure, right? You look at the most successful people in the world. You look at Richard Branson. He has failed at more companies than anybody. But look how successful he is. Because the failures actually help you get to where you want to be. I look back at my life. I was telling my life story, I think, to my hairdresser and somebody else who came over to the house to check out Seoul, Sarasota the other day. And I was like, they were like confused about, what step that they needed to take next. And I was like, if you look back at my life, you wouldn't think that any of that made any sense. I did a reality TV show at 18. I moved to London. I worked for Citigroup Investment Bank. Then I was in girl bands. I was your backing dancer. Then I was a club promoter. I came to America. I did my pilot's license. Guys, TV show, banker, girl band, pilot, YouTube. Does any of that make any sense? No, but if I was so hung up on an idea of the past, of what it needed to look like, I would never be looking at the gain. When I did my private pilot's license, it was a year and a half, almost 2 years, going back to the UK, doing all of my written exams. And at the end of it, the last thing I had to do was to convert my license from a USA one to a European one so that I could go and get a job as a pilot in Europe. And I remember going, I can't really see myself being interviewed as a pilot. I don't think I want to be a pilot anymore. And that was it. I was like, okay, I didn't hold on to, oh my gosh, like all the work that has gone into it or the money that's gone into it. I just knew, hey, this is not what I want to do forever. But oh my goodness, the gain I got for that. I got to fly a plane solo. I got to go to ground school. I got to learn a new skill. It got me to California. Then I got to California. I was able then to get a visa there. I mean, think of the gain. I didn't lose anything by spending 18 months doing my pilot's license. It was a gain. I didn't lose anything by spending 9 months at Citigroup Investment Bank in Canary Wharf in London. It was a gain. So many of you are going, you have this idea of exactly how something needs to look, and you're so attached to the outcome. You're so attached to holding on to something in the past that you are blind to all of the opportunities out there. So look at the gain. What are you so focused on right now that you're like, hey, if I just let this go, if I just didn't do this anymore, what would my life be like? What would I be able to achieve? What else is there for me? Because that's how I think of my life. I never think that I've lost anything. I never feel like, I'm losing out. I'm always in the mindset of this is going to be a gain. This is going to be powerful. This is going to be strong. What I'm going through right now, it's going to make a difference in the world later on. And if you have that same mentality, You'll never feel stuck. You'll never feel like you're in the gap. You're always going to be feeling like, I've got vision and I'm excited about where I'm headed. Because if you are holding on to an old story of yourself, or maybe an old story about what you think your life should be, then you're going to miss out on all of the amazing opportunities that are, and that you are blind to right now because you are so attached to how something must be. We got to let go of that weight. What if you lost it all? You could rebuild it all back again. I mean, what is losing everything all anyway? Losing everything, what does that even mean? Nothing. You know that with your skills and your tools, as long as you have them and you've been working on that, you're going to be able to rebuild everything. Because if you look at all the things that you are gaining through your life and you're looking at the cup as half full instead of half empty, opportunities are going to keep coming your way. When you are held up in the past, the universe is going to keep you there. It's not going to bring you new opportunities. It's not going to bring you a fresh new idea. It's not going to bring you an evolution of your goals and where it is that you see yourself. It's going to keep you right there. It's going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you in the gap. So you get to choose today on this podcast if you are going to start living in a mindset of the gain rather than, hey, what am I missing? Why am I stuck? Because those past failures are not failures. They're just learning lessons. They're there to make room for new opportunities. If you are like an abundance mindset, you never feel like you've lost anything. If you're an abundance mindset, you never feel like, you've lost friends, or you've lost opportunities, or you've lost people, experiences. Because you're always like, there's going to be something to gain from this that's going to put me in a much better, stronger, powerful, bold position that I couldn't have even dreamed of. But letting go is so important to be able to grow. You're going to hold yourself back by holding on to something. And in your head right now, you're like, well, Rebecca, you just don't understand what I've been through. You don't get it. I can't just let go. Well, that sucks. That sucks for you that you have that mindset. But guess what? You can change that. You can change that thinking. You can change that right now. What if you could? What if you said to yourself, you know what? But what if I did let it go? And then you ask yourself again, but what if I did let it go? I remember I had to do this 2019, and someone was like, I said, well, this happened to me. And they were like, well, what if you just let that go? What if that wasn't your story anymore? What if that wasn't your story anymore? What if you just let that go? And I eventually, after, a long time, said, well, I'd feel so much better. And I guarantee you that if you let that go today, that thing that you know that you just need to let go of, you're going to feel so much lighter. You're going to feel so much brighter. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're going to have more opportunities. More things are going to come in. And when you do that, you're going to start living in a much centered, happier place. Because negativity and living in the past will eat your soul alive. It will destroy your cells. When you're trying to pull yourself down and pull other people down, and you are so focused on everything that's in the past, you will destroy your cells one by one. And you can change that today. You can change that by saying, I'm going to start to live in the gain. Okay, great. All these challenging things that have happened, they've happened for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start focusing on all the gains that I can get from that. And instead of, blaming other people and holding on to things, I'm going to release those weights. Remember those weights at the beginning? I can already feel that some of you pop those weights back on again. No. Get your little scissors out, chop off the weight on the right, chop off the weight on the left, let that weight go, and see how differently you're going to start to walk. See how differently you're going to start to live. See how differently your happiness is going to be each day. How your body is going to respond. Because as soon as you start to put the focus on the gain and you let go of the past and you're going to start to embrace the future. And I promise you that more things and great opportunities are going to come your way. Again, I'm so proud of you for showing up today. Share this with just one person that is going to have a ripple effect to change the world. Together we can make a difference. It's not an easy job. There is a lot of negativity out there, a lot of cancel culture, a lot of people behind their cameras, behind their phones, trying to tear each other down. But you know what? We're still going to make a dent. We're still going to work together and stick together so that we can bring positivity into this world. And again, if you're interested in working one-on-one beside me, linking arms and changing the world, then make sure that you check out my ambassador program. All the details and a quick video are in the description below. Check that out if you are looking to earn some extra income. Looking to change the world with me, want to work one-on-one as well with me too. All the details are there. So awesome job, everybody. So proud of you. And let's let go of the past and start to embrace the future by having the mindset of what is there to gain.